Several ATV riders say they've seen unusual-looking creatures in the distance.
And a strange sighting is baffling. This creature was caught on camera at a Northside neighborhood.
Where the mystery animal has been spotted a few times, and whatever it is, the woman who lives here.
A woman finds a creature but has no idea what this thing is.
Be it a jammed urban setting or sparsely rural site, a lot comes out in the darkness of the night that is not just unexplainable, but downright horrific, completely mysterious, and proof that going into the woods alone is never a good idea. Take a look at some of the most bizarre creatures that no one would have believed if they weren't filmed. Despite the sudden flashing of lights, this Wendigo didn't show any aggressive attitude until it was provoked. A group of teenagers were having a private party in a remote cabin until they spotted something that matched the description of a Wendigo. It seemed to be isolated.
Ahí está, mira, ahí está.
With it showing little to no response from the flashlights pointing in its direction, the sheer curiosity of the teenagers made one toss a pebble at it. In response, it almost immediately reacted by starting to chase them. After all, messing with something in the dark that you don't understand would certainly give a next-level adrenaline rush. Humanoid alien animal. Call it an alien, a werewolf, or an extremely weird animal. If this looks spooky just by its physical nature, one can only imagine the fear of it messing around. This humanoid type of animal was caught by animal control after multiple reports of breaking in were reported near the outskirts of Idaho, United States. This perpetrator was described to be an animal with human-like body mechanics. It is believed to have hunted numerous chicken coops while in its feeding frenzy. With the authorities unable to identify the nature of this humanoid alien animal, it remains unclear if it would be dealt with as an animal or face severe prison time if recognized as a human. Twisted crawler. Having a beard for someone that is supposed to look intimidating such as this is certainly quite an innovation on its part. A driver, while amid a delivery, had his path interrupted with a crawler on the road that longed to have a bear and a twisted chest at the same time. It had shiny eyes and was dressed in something white. Despite honking and flashing lights several times, it wouldn't get out of the way, forcing the driver, who feared trouble, to turn around and look for an alternate route. Demogin Iprit. Whether you call it an animal or a mysterious creature of the night, it probably is not a good idea to go anywhere near it. A poultry farmer shared this footage showing an unrecognizable animal or beast that was lying on the grass despite having the area secured with a fence. As the farmer returned to grab his firearm, this very entity made its way into his grain storage barn. After he could see it making movements. While no one knows how this ended, speculators from the glimpse of the barn footage believe it to have a very close resemblance to that of a Demogin Iprit, which is said to be a devil in its physical form. Captured Bigfoot. After decades of searching and having to find only a shadow of these giants, it seems like someone finally not just found a Bigfoot, but also captured it. This video was leaked by an anonymous source showing a huge Bigfoot passing through with its face visible, until hours later, the same giant is seen locked in a huge cage. Despite the Bigfoot's frustration and aggressive attempt to break out, it rather seems like a hopeless case. Now, details as to who captured it or how remain unclear and certainly not as interesting as to the reason why. not to mention that it was kept from the outside world. After all, imagine having to see a Bigfoot in a zoo. It would mean going to war with a Bigfoot kind. Surrounded by crawlers. Unlike most other crawlers that were alone and too slow, these were rather more prepared and organized. An unlucky hunter was planting cameras all over the forest tracking animal activity in the area, only to find himself being pursued by crawlers. After taking several moments that flanked the hunter into their trap unknowingly, he discovered more than a dozen of them surrounding him, and one of them jumped at him. Even if this man was armed, he still would have been outnumbered. Doom Demon. If it were up to me, I would probably have exercised more caution to handle such a sticky situation. A Rio de Janeiro resident on the outskirts shared a startling video of a massive demon materializing on his property in broad daylight. The recorder and his companions, drawn by curiosity, approached for a closer look, unwittingly falling into its trap. The footage abruptly concludes, leaving the outcome uncertain. As the video went viral, observers likened the demon's appearance to a monster from the Doom 3 video game, adding an element of virtual horror to the real-world mystery of an unexpected and otherworldly visitor in the Rio de Janeiro outskirts. Werewolf. Brace yourselves, folks, for this isn't your typical campfire tale. A camera captured an extraordinary scene in the deep woods of an animal having all dark fur and luminous eyes. A real-life werewolf, if you can fathom it. Starting with a crawl, it gradually rises to a terrifying height, prompting a momentary reality check. Yet, the video's authenticity sparks a debate. Was it a mere play of light or something far more horrifying? Under the bridge. Having to go down under a bridge amid the night is something no less as spooky, such as this skinwalker. A man that was stopping by at a motel was out late in the night for a smoke, where, after one thing led to another, and he came across this skinwalker. Instead of chasing the man, it resorted only to scaring him away with its growling. Almost as if it didn't have any intentions to bother chasing him. A crippled little rata. Having a mysterious nature and shiny eyes is enough to get the attention of any sane person, if not terrifying. A group of Bigfoot hunters exploring a forest in Oregon spotted this crippled little being that seemed to be stalking them from a distance. By using night vision cameras that were initially intended to capture Bigfoot sightings, they decided to record this mysterious figure from a couple of meters away from it. Apart from being recognized, it hasn't even been labeled yet officially, though many viewers and Reddit users from a mummy to a possessed scarecrow. Sword hand skeleton. Something as scary as this surely redefines the notion of haunting spirits in graveyards. Gravediggers, puzzled by a mysterious footstep-like trail, installed a trail camera for answers. Astonishingly, the footage revealed a disturbing entity with a sharp sword-like limbs navigating the graves. Its skeletal form cast a dark shadow, sparking diverse interpretations. Some label it a rogue ghost, while others theorize about reincarnation or a Walking Dead scenario. This scary and strange-looking figure adds an unsettling layer to the graveyard's atmosphere for visitors, and also the grave diggers. Baby cryptid. In Azerbaijan, a captivating video showcases a strange being, initially resembling a toddler in fur. However, closer scrutiny dispels any human likeness. The being possesses human-like hands with slightly webbed fingers and shiny hair, reminiscent of reported Bigfoot sightings. Speculation arises about its identity, pondering whether it's a baby Bigfoot or the mythical Russian Almasty. The creature's current whereabouts remain elusive, intensifying the mystery surrounding it. The video has sparked curiosity, leaving many intrigued by the possibility of encountering such an interesting, yet at the same time, mysterious entity. The quest for answers continues as the origin and nature of this creature remains shrouded in uncertainty. Dark Grounded Devil. When it comes to a devil, most of you might be familiar with it being bright red in color and flying. This one was rather grounded and darker in texture. A man was out for an early morning jog in Ohio when he came across this dark, shadowy figure that was idly sitting in the middle of the trail road. With the suspicious description and nature of this grounded devil, the terrified man maintained his distance from it. If you have seen many Hollywood movies, it is safe to say that it is waiting on the make to get closer and jump at. Jumped in forest. A group of youths were passing through the forest late in the night until they stopped and one of them got out to take a leak. Upon doing so, the young adult was jumped on by an unknown figure in the dark that was partially caught on camera. The noise and panic were loud enough to even capture the attention of his friends, who were able to reach him in time and help him get back to the car before fleeing.
No.
While it was too dark to spot the perpetrator, the camera, however, did manage to capture a glimpse of it.
Go! Hurry up, come on!
Wooded Goblin. Under the moonlit forest canopy of British Columbia, a hiker unwittingly filmed a rare sighting of a spooky goblin lurking behind bushes. Oblivious at the time, she later discovers a wood goblin in the footage while reviewing, which left her quite surprised. The eerie encounter raises questions about what might have transpired had she stayed there any longer or noticed its presence. The mysterious video persists as the person of interest vanishes without a trace, leaving an unsettling tale of a moonlit forest and an elusive wood goblin hidden among the shadows. River Beast. In Uzbekistan, a frightening creature previously dismissed as a rumor is captured on video in a river. Local fishermen hailing from an undisclosed area offer chicken meat to this eerie entity believed to dwell in the water. Legend has it that in exchange for the offering, the underwater monster allows them to fish in its river. The person recording the video, initially skeptical, decides to join the fishermen on an expedition to witness the creature. Upon sighting it, he is rendered speechless, and although curious for a closer look, maintains a safe distance for obvious reasons. The mysterious river-dwelling creature continues to baffle observers to this day. Skinwalkers hunt campers.
What was that?
Run!
Guys, wait!
Camping might seem like a great way to take a break and enjoy nature, until the darkness of the night turns into a nightmare. A group of teenagers decided to go for a camping trip in the Michigan forest, which soon took a spooky turn after dark. They heard numerous growling sounds close by, only to notice multiple skinwalkers that seemed to be haunting them from all sides.
Guys, wait!
The group was left terrified enough that they abandoned all their camping equipment and fled from the area.
Oh.
Hairy brute. It's big, it's strong, and far more creepier to be thought of as a man in disguise, a hunter that was looking for a catch while strolling through the Mississippi forest until he came across this. This encounter with a hairy brute that was made in June 2022, with the sheer strength and ferocity of this unrecognizable being that was ripping apart thick tree trunks while to build presumably a house. The hunter, who despite being armed, was intimidated and terrified by it, to record any much longer, let alone get any closer. Dragon in night sky. It's not just the idea of the existence of dragons that is terrifying, but also that this one breathes fire and has intelligence far superior to most living species. A bystander from an undisclosed location captured an eye-opening sighting showing a dragon flying in the night sky moments before it blows a fire breath towards a mountain that almost immediately triggers a volcano eruption. With no rider seen on its back, no one knows why it did such a thing or who it was under the influence of, but what's clear is that it was intelligent enough to not only detect the imminent eruption and make a decision to trigger it right away. Bizarre gymnast. Either this is some Thanksgiving turkey that got away, or a snarly alien that's trying to survive after being left behind by its kind. A garbage man was out working on an early morning shift when he noticed this very unusual little creature that seemed to be fleeing while at the same time using its gymnastic skills to make balanced and agile jumps. With the presence of a stray canine on the footpath, this bizarre gymnast was also practicing extreme caution by concealing itself in between. With the footage having to be as old as November 2023, its nature remains a mystery. Unknown owl bird. For this to be an actual owl, it has an extremely unusual type of face and a body. An unnamed source shared this recording from somewhere in the wilderness of southwestern China in hopes of identifying the nature of this bird. It partly looked to have a tiny human-like face, but a huge body. Also, it made its features look like some hard shell, as this bird animal was flexing itself to intimidate the bystander. According to some viewers and myths, this is a very rare species of owl that has a human-like face and is known to be far more aggressive than any of its peer species. Real-life Hollow Man. Even if one were to achieve complete invisibility, doesn't necessarily mean that you could also see in the dark without some illumination. A video taken from December 2023 in Ghana shows a sighting of a fire torch that was seen moving around in the dark without revealing the one holding it. Once the curious bystanders closed in to investigate, they shared that they heard footsteps along the path of the fire torch that was moving, citing it to be a case of a ghost or a spirit, while something was a case of an invisible or hollow man. Being afraid for their safety, the crowd remained at a safe distance while using a flashlight to get a better sense of what was happening. Beast cub. If this beast cub looks intimidating just by how it looks, imagine the horrors if either or both of its parents were to step in. A farmer noticed this unidentified animal cub just outside his fields by the meadows that he confronted to protect his crops and livestock animals. In doing so, as he got closer, found it to be having the fusion of part werewolf, part bear, and part human. The beast appeared to be trying to flee to safety, while at the same time getting aggressive towards the farmer whenever he'd get too close. Armed only with a thick cane, the farmer was able to drive it out of his territory. Himalayan Yeti. For your information, if this Yeti might seem to look tiny, it is mostly because half of its size is dipped into the snow. A footage that is believed to be from the late 90s or early 2000s shows a huge, dark, furried ape-like being that made climbing a densely snowed hill look like a walk in the park. This later pronounced Yeti was able to pass through the several footages of loose snow without showing any signs of difficulty or exhaustion. Baby Skinwalker. After all the Skinwalker encounters, this one seems to have had enough and decided to take action. Dashcam footage taken in an unknown location shows the moment where a man can be seen attempting to snatch away a small skinwalker into his car. Within moments, a larger one appeared while being armed with a stick, attempting to confront the man. The footage at this point ends, leaving what happened next to be a total mystery. Backyard Gnome.
It's there! I've got it in camera! It's moving!
If there were anything such as evil Christmas elves, this is probably how they would behave. A tenant in Glasgow, Scotland, shared this footage dating back to November 2017 of a real gnome that scared away a boy that was playing in the backyard of the apartment. Gnomes are mythical creatures featured in various European folklore, typically depicted as small, bearded beings with a connection to the earth. Gnomes are often associated with gardens and forests, while they are portrayed as guardians of nature, having a fondness for interacting with plants and animals. This one was rather scaring away children.
It's there! I've got it in camera! It's moving!
Playground Pampero. As rare as it is to find a Pampero, this one made a rather sudden appearance. A group of children playing in a playground in a remote location in Paraguay, until this believed to be a mythical creature called Pampero, made a sudden appearance and scared away all the kids. Pamperos are known to have a mischievous spirit of the forest along with a dark skin-like appearance that usually spooks bystanders and is said to control wildlife and protect nature. However, this is believed to have been tracked down by hunters and captured. Witchcraft witch caught.
Háblame, pues. Háblame.
When the rules of the law or religion are broken, there is no escaping consequences, just as for this witch. A group of priests in Colombia banded together with some of their muscles to search and capture a witch that was said to have been running rampant with black magic rituals.
Yo te libero a ti. ¿Quién somos? ¿Quién somos?
While in the act, the witch was immediately taken into custody after the priests were able to break her connection with the spirits and other supernatural entities before being taken away. Zombified or just possessed?
Hey.
While we all agree to the simple fact that no one in their right mind would feast on raw animal meat, this troubled woman did just that. A video that was uploaded with little to no information and the source remaining private showed a woman dressed in white attire while she was feeding on the raw carcass of a huge primate. Now, without considering the case of the woman being zombified or possessed, this behavior wouldn't make sense at all, as no one in their right mind would feed on raw flesh. Do share with us your opinion in the comments. Dal Duendi. An Algerian resident shared a video of what seemed to be a possessed doll, later identified as a duende, a creature deeply ingrained in Latin American folklore. Duendes, translating to goblins or elves in Spanish, are mythical beings described as small doll-like figures with disproportionate features and mischievous tendencies. Inhabiting wild places like forests and caves, duendes play pranks on humans. They embody a protective spirit towards nature, displaying both benevolent and malevolent traits based on human interaction with the environment. This folklore transcends continents, reaching Africa. It exposes one of the very rare instances of a duende surfacing and its mysterious presence in various cultural narratives. Tree hidden cryptid. Though a forest just might be the right place for these humanoid beings to take cover or hide, but at some point end up revealing themselves. Behind the dense bushes and tree line, a mysterious creature was spotted stalking an explorer. It followed him for several hours while it kept on peeping at him from time to time, as if it wanted to stay on track while its intentions remained unclear. Most of the viewers started calling it a hoax or something made up, but if you look at it, its fiery glowing eyes would say otherwise. Alien carcass.
Flares, maybe? No, they're...
While other several decades of all those UFO sightings, seeing something like this was long overdue. After a very close UFO sighting in September 2021, a San Diego resident who was desperately seeking answers decided to close in on the sighting or a potential crash site. After trekking for several miles, he finally discovered this stiff alien carcass that seemed to be either abandoned, left behind, or the aftermath of that UFO. The area was later quarantined by the US government, and the alien carcass is also believed to be taken in their custody. Poster-hating rake. Although it doesn't resemble a human, it seems to have human-like feelings. In Brazil's Favela streets, security footage revealed a rake-like entity emerging unexpectedly on Halloween night. Randomly, it decided to tear apart a poster that served as an open invitation to a Halloween party, featuring a picture of a rake-like costume. Reports suggest the creature might have taken offense and reacted by destroying the poster. As it turns around in the footage, it becomes evident that this entity bears no resemblance to a human, putting it into the category of otherworldly element that was captured by the security camera. Una Bruja. Even for a witch, the kind of front arms that this one has is extremely bizarre. A Mexican couple encountered Una Bruja outside of their home, who at first thought to be a woman in distress that they stepped out hoping to help. Una Bruja means a witch in Spanish. Witches are often portrayed as individuals with magical abilities, casting spells and brewing potions. Upon recognizing it to be anything but an actual woman, they used a repellent powder nearby to back it off and to avoid coming under its influence. Day encounter.
Whoa, way to go. Run.
Perhaps it is never a good idea to get the attention of something that you don't know or understand. An Instagram upload from November 2023 shows a rather unusual encounter with a skinwalker. In broad daylight, an unaware individual confidently whistled at the creature to gain its attention. The skinwalker responded with ferocious aggression, prompting a frantic escape.
Whoa, way to go. Run. Go.
Both sought refuge inside, locking doors. Yet, the relentless skinwalker breached the basement. The video abruptly ended, leaving the fate of those involved unknown. Provoked Wendigo, provoked again. If throwing a stone wasn't nearly enough, the same band of teenagers decided to pay an uninvited visit to the same Wendigo's living space. A video shared on the internet shows the young men who, after somehow tracking down the location of the aforementioned creature, decided to broadcast them checking out its hut. They entered the premises, snooping around inside, until its occupant shouted at them. So they became scared and ran away. At this point, it is almost as if these youths are begging to get in trouble. Skinwalker in dark. The fact that this is odd, even for a person going through a really tough time to behave by sitting in pitch darkness, is enough to rule out the possibility of it being human. When a farmer in Ethiopia, after hearing several disturbances around his land, went out to investigate, found this slim figure that was sitting in the dark. Due to the beastly growling sound, the farmer decided to avoid confrontation. This figure, however, seems to have the closest description to that of a skinwalker and is also now believed to be one. Living humanoid doll. An upload from July 2018 on the internet raised the intriguing question of whether a doll coming to life would be friendly or hostile, akin to Chucky. The footage showcased a tiny doll purportedly brought to life, possessing a minuscule body and a disproportionately large face painted with white makeup. The man recording the video playfully interacted with the animated doll using a stick. Viewers speculate wildly, some attributing it to witchcraft or voodoo magic, while others suggested it might be a monkey adorned with a mask for a publicity stunt. Shadowy figure. A trail camera footage was taken in September 2016 in an ultra-remote community deep in the Mexican woods, where a shadowy figure suddenly made an appearance. It all began when this young villager boy was wandering along this winding forest trail until, all of a sudden, a ghostly transparent entity appeared out of nowhere and ambushed the young boy. The shocking part is that it wasn't a one-time occurrence. Others from the same community who have passed through the area have also complained about this making the possibility of their woods being haunted a reality. Dogman. Surely you've heard tales of dogmen, half human, half canine shadows lingering in the dark. Now, behold this revelation. A hidden trail camera amid trees unveils a shaggy face, large nostrils flaring as it breathes heavily. Astonishment ensues. A genuine dogman, crystal clear. The footage perplexes, blurring lines between myth and reality, leaving viewers questioning if these legends transcend mere campfire tales. The undeniable presence of film sparks contemplation. Could the Dogman myth be more tangible than previously believed? The appearance of these mysterious encounters prompts speculation on the existence of these folklore to be part of reality. Moving stuffed dog. This one was behaving far too realistically for something that looked to be a stuffed dog. A clip of this caged toy animal caught the attention of viewers on Instagram, showing it struggling to break out shortly after trying to speak to the recorder that didn't seem to leave any further information about it. Personally, it seems almost as if it were possessed by Satan himself.
Can you understand me?
Pixie or Yoda?
He's off.
With it looking to match the descriptions of both, it is hard to tell what this is. A passerby through a forest in Albania saw and recorded this dwarf-looking being that looked to be lost while making its way through the forest.
That one's the male.
While you might be familiar with Yoda from Star Wars, it also is thought to be a sighting of a pixie, which is from British folklore, depicting small, mischievous, and magical beings. Since this Albanian forest dwarf is tiny and has pointed ears like the pixie with the matching description, this could very well be one, though the existence of these beings is only in mythology and storytelling.
He's off.
This picture and video were taken on June 7, 2023, somewhere in a remote village area in Balochistan, Pakistan, showing a weird entity having a mixed resemblance to that of a human and an ape. The so-called creature was cornered by a group of trackers after numerous reports of sightings of a figure with similar descriptions terrorizing the villagers. The villagers started penalizing the figure, but before the authorities could arrive, this humanoid of an ape that was held escaped, leaving its true nature a mystery. We leave this for you to discuss and investigate as to what this may or may not have been. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.